Let me ask you a question, guys. What is the largest organ in the human body? Don't overestimate yourselves. In fact, the largest organ in the human body is the skin. If you spread out the skin of an adult, it covers about 2 square meters and makes up 16% of body weight. Compared to other animals, the skin of Homo sapiens seems pretty weak. Not only is it thinner than that of animals, but it's also less durable, just a slight scratch, and it breaks open. However, as we all know, biology is full of counterintuitive facts. For example, urine is actually cleaner than saliva. Saliva contains a lot of bacteria, while the urine of a healthy person is sterile. It just doesn't taste as good. Our skin is also counterintuitive in this way. Not only is it not weak, but it's actually designed to be extremely tough. First of all, there's the skin's highly sensitive sense of touch. How sensitive is it? With a year and a half of mahjong practice, a person can tell a 2 of circles from a 3 of bamboo tile by touch. The feel of different types of skin can even affect your mood. For example, if you are caressed by a beautiful 20-year-old woman, it can feel like a breath of spring, like drinking sweet dew, leaving you intoxicated and inseparable. But if you are caressed by an exceptionally wealthy and muscular man, it would feel like sitting on pins and needles, like having a thorn in your back or a fishbone stuck in your throat, like treading on thin ice. As everyone knows, when ultraviolet rays are too strong, the melanocytes in your skin convert tyrosine into melanin to absorb the UV rays, and this process is actually reversible. When you stay away from light for a long time, the melanin will degrade, so it's normal for a person's buttocks to be lighter than their face, because the buttocks aren't exposed to light and thus don't have melanin deposition. Of course, it's not just exposure to light that causes melanin deposition and darkening. Long-term repeated friction on certain areas of the skin can also lead to melanin deposition and darkening. For example, the armpits. The skin is not only highly functional, but it also plays an aesthetic role. Let's say there are 2 girls. Both are understanding, well-educated, and as beautiful as fairies, just as stunning as Yifei. But the difference is, one has smooth, delicate skin, while the other skin is, well, a bit like the surface of the moon. So, what do these 2 girls have to do with you, sitting in front of the screen? Our skin is made up of 3 layers: the epidermis, the dermis, and the subcutaneous tissue. The epidermis is formed by layers of dead keratinocytes stacked together, serving as the body's first physical immune barrier. We all know that for bacteria and viruses to enter the human body, they must invade living cells. But the outermost layer of the epidermis is made up of dead cells, so bacteria and viruses can't get in. They can only linger on the surface and can't penetrate further. Although the dead epidermal cells are no longer alive, they were once living, and their sole purpose while alive was to die and become a barrier against bacteria and viruses. Beneath the epidermis is a dermis with sweat glands, sebaceous glands, erector pili muscles, touch receptors, nerves, blood vessels. Oil from sebaceous glands keeps skin moist. In other words, if someone says you're oily, it might actually be a compliment about how hydrated your skin is. The sebaceous glands are most densely distributed on the scalp, face, chest, and back, which is why when your girlfriend sees your pillow or bed sheets turning yellow after you've slept on them, she might start to wonder if all men lose their color. Of course, that's assuming you actually have a girlfriend. Of course, this isn't actually losing color, it's just that, as robust men, our sebaceous glands are definitely more developed than women's, so we naturally produce more oil. Because there are more sebaceous glands on the back, it's easier to get acne there. Sweat secreted by the sweat glands cools the body down through evaporative cooling. An adult can sweat more than a good amount in just 1 hour, so if you're asked which organ secretes the most liquid in the human body, don't get it wrong, it's the skin. Next are the tactile receptors in the dermis, which are extremely sensitive to touch and vibration. They can even detect ultra-low frequency vibrations below 1 Hz, making them even more sensitive than the most advanced cosmic ray detectors. These receptors are mainly in sensitive areas like the palms, fingertips, behind the ears, lips, tongue, and other parts. The dermis has a network of capillaries. When someone is excited or nervous, so if a girl sees you blushing, it means she's very nervous, maybe she's even fallen for you. A girl's blush is more touching than words of love. Perhaps the most useless thing in the dermis is the erector pili muscle. For animals, the erector pili muscle is useful. When they encounter an enemy, their fur stands up, making them look bigger, which can scare off opponents. But after evolution, humans lost most body hair, so the erector pili muscle is now a vestigial feature. Aside from Peter Parker in Spider-Man, the main function of the erector pili muscle is to contract when the body feels cold, causing the sweat glands to close and reducing sweat secretion. Taking all these functions into account, if the human brain is the CPU, then the skin is like an ultra-precise, fully covering sensor for pressure, temperature, and humidity, as well as a built-in water cooling system. The key is that it has high energy conversion efficiency and rapid data transmission. Human-made physical sensors simply can't compare. In addition, the skin has another powerful function, synthesizing vitamin D. The role of vitamin D is to promote the absorption of calcium and phosphorus in the intestines and their deposition in the bones. About 80% of the vitamin D in the human body is synthesized by the skin. So if you want to supplement calcium, spend more time in the sun and let your skin produce more vitamin D. Since our skin is designed to be so robust and important, even if you all look as handsome as Panan, don't be rough, guys, take good care of your skin. After all, when pursuing a girl, it's not just about her appearance. You should also pay attention to your own. Love yourself first, brothers.